What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Noob. Now, I know you've probably noticed in the past that I have a particular type of manga and anime that I love to read and watch. Isekai is the genre that I love the most. I will read, I will watch, I will even play games that have to do with this. And I know that a lot of people are getting tired of the Isekai thing, but I, on the other hand, is someone who will continuously watch it and enjoy it. Today's manga is about an isekai that is slightly different. See, in most isekai stories, they're either summoned over when they die, or when they're summoned over, they're told that they're going to be heroes and such, and 9 times out of 10, the person, the main character, the hero, they usually agree and just go with it. Well, this manga is a slight bit different. The title of this manga is called Savior's Book Café in Another World. Now, right off the bat, when this manga starts, you have your main character, Tsukina, who is in her mid-30s. She's much older. She's not your typical teenager. She is someone who has basically gone through her life and is enjoying it, which I relate to because I'm in my late 30s myself. The whole first chapter of this manga, you literally have Tsukina arguing with God about how she doesn't want to do this. God, who for some reason is a sphere in the beginning of this, has summoned her saying, hey, I need you to send you over to another planet. I need you to be a savior. And she goes, nah, I'm good. I'm 30-something. I'm set in my ways. I have no reason to do this. And then there's this whole back and forth between God's like, but people always want to go. And she goes, well, that's because they're teenagers and they haven't set their life in. Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. But eventually, God convinces her that she has to go. So, with a little bit of skilled negotiations and, of course, having the ability to ask questions, Tsukina gets to be transferred to this other world, but really doesn't do the whole hero thing. See, she convinces God that I don't want to be a hero. I want you to hide the magical circle that would show that I'm the savior, and I want you to let me live in a comfy bookstore in the woods. So, God basically agrees, which he really has no choice because she negotiates well enough to get what she wants. So, he sets her up in a nice-looking building in the woods. Not too far from the kingdom, but not too far in the woods where she would be alone permanently. And so she goes about setting up this house into a book cafe like she always dreamed of owning. See, she's a book lover. She will read the hell out of books. So, of course, if she's going to live her peaceful life, she's going to want to read the books. Now, she uses the magic she has, especially the magic she negotiated with God, to get everything she wants. I mean, counters, bookshelves, books, a stable for horses if anyone stops by, and she creates her very own bookstore in a fantasy world, which she, of course, indulges herself in. But, of course, a book cafe always needs customers. Luckily for her, it doesn't take too long until she has her very first customer. In walks in this young, 20-ish something knight, a very handsome knight in her opinion, by the name of Il. See, Il is the head knight of the kingdom that she is in. He was horse riding in the woods because something happened, which I'll discuss later, that made it to where he couldn't ride his horse in the castle. So while out and about in the woods, he comes across this bookstore. Now, of course, he's curious, so he steps in, and Tsukina welcomes him in. Welcome to my bookstore. How can I help you? And luckily for her, Il is a book lover himself. He looks around the cafe and spots books that he wants to read. So he's like, hell yeah, I'm going to sit here. I've got break. I might as well. So he takes a book to read, sits down, orders food from the massive menu that she has created, and decides to indulge herself. Now, while he is there reading, he comes to realize she has done a whole lot of high-level magic that, well, like I said, is high level, and she does a bunch of it. Protection on the books so they don't get dirty, a magical watch that can be a timer for him, a teapot that never ends pouring tea, and the food, she puts restoration magic on it so he will feel better. Now, he comes to love this cafe, so he will come back many, many times to this, and you can see how the relationship between them kind of grows a little. She likes him, but of course she's older and she worries about being attracted to such a young, handsome man, and he is a book lover who comes to realize that he feels comfortable being around her. Now, remember earlier when I said that something happened that made him have to ride his horse in the forest? Well, she's not the only savior that has been sent to this world. See, the savior before her was sent to this world, and she kinda is a bitch. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. She is a very stuck-up bitch. When she was originally alive, she apparently was kind of the glasses-wearing dork who never got the attention she wanted. So when she got isekai, she told God, not magic, not anything, she just wants to be born pretty and popular, which she was. And when it was found out that she was a savior, they brought her to the castle like they're supposed to. Now, the thing about her and not using magic is she's very spoiled. She is basically like a rich girl in this manga. She will dump soup out on the floor if it's got carrots because she doesn't like carrots. Because she was scared of horses, they're not allowed to run the horses on the castle near her, thus why Il was out in the forest. And she will purposely blame other people just to get him in trouble because she wants to. She is not a good character. And the other thing that a lot of people don't like is she's got the prince wrapped around her finger. See, because she's not using her magic, the magic is basically seeping out of her in other ways, and unfortunately it's becoming charm magic, and it's all focused on the prince. This is one of the reasons why Il is out and about trying to find a way to calm down, because he and other knights are getting a little annoyed about this. But that's beside the point. The point of this manga is you have your main character, Tsukina, just running her magical bookstore in the forest. Like I said, she's got her one repeating character, Il. One of Il's subordinates follows him, trying to figure out why Il seems to be happy all the time. And the story is going on. It's more slice of life than anything. And I find it quite comfortable reading this manga about a book cafe in another world run by a girl who's just a lover of books like I am. Now, in the latest chapter of this manga that I've read, unfortunately, there was an incident that happened with the savior, not Tsukina, but the previous one that's at the castle, to where a lot of people are finally getting over her, and the knights are finally realizing that she's not all that in a cupcake, and even Il is very annoyed with her. So, one day when talking to Tsukina, he invites her out to a festival that they're going to have. It's like a date. They're actually getting to the point where we're dating. But he talks about the previous savior, and Tsukina could tell that Il is not a fan of saviors, so she worries a lot because she is one, and what would happen if Il finds out? And unfortunately, he is going to find out, because at the last chapter, she was having to show her powers off because the previous savior was starting to lose control of her powers, which was endangering the kingdom. Now, I like this type of manga because it's simple, it's relaxing, and I myself am a book lover. As much as I would love to be isekai'd into another world, to be an adventurer, to go out and fight monsters, I know myself. I'm literally almost 40. I've got a few years, so I'm not going to tell you how old I am. But if I was to literally be isekai'd today and God was to speak to me, I think I'd be very much like her. I would not want to be the adventurer because as old as I am, unless I'm reincarnating into a younger body, I'm comfortable with my life. Running a bookstore? Sure. I think I'd actually just run a blacksmith shop, in my opinion. You know, go with what you love. And she loves books, and she wanted a book cafe, and that's what she got. Now, yes, she might be OP, and she might be the main character, but she doesn't want to be that. She just wants to enjoy her books, and maybe flirt with the cute knight that keeps coming by her shop. These are the type of mangas that are really good slice of lives, very calming, very enjoyable, that bring a smile to your face that sadly not everyone talks about, but I feel that y'all should read it. Well, folks, that's my recommendation on manga that I believe you should read. What do you think? Do you think that as the savior, the OP character that she is, should she not do what she loves and go and be the hero that is needed, that God wanted her to be? Or do you think she did the right thing? Being a lover of books and as old as she is, she decided to just open up a cafe and enjoy herself? Let me know in the comments below. Folks, I'm the Noob. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch y'all later. See ya!